What's going on, everyone? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a good start to your morning. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I am looking at. Here we go. So I'm still going over the stocks that we were able to break down yesterday. And this one was the one that caught my eye the most. It looks like we are starting an opening, in the green, right? So it's up already 1.78%. It makes sense why the overall market is green, right? So let's just make sure that we take that into consideration, that we don't jump in too quick. So I'm going to go ahead and open this thing where it shows me the current trades. And one of the things that I wanted to point out that I was kind of waiting out for is that /CL was showing signs of this uptrend, right? It was doing a very good job holding above the overall SMA line. It then began to sell off and then try to bounce off this middle VWAP. Now, one of the things that we're noticing is that it sold off, it broke below the middle VWAP twice, but now it's actually struggling to make higher highs and it's actually selling off right now. So the more that /CL sells off, the more that DWT, which is the inverse ETF, can then push up. So again, quick little heads up on that. I want to give it a little bit more time for it to identify its true direction and to see if we actually begin to make lower lows. And there it goes. I mean, it's definitely selling off. So it's definitely, looking at the RSI, looking at the MACD, it 100% makes sense on, why this thing can pull back. So let's go ahead. I'm going to set a couple more alerts, both on top and both below, and we can kind of go from there. All right, all of my alerts are going off from UWT. Those are kind of old alerts as of right now. Here we go. So also with natural gas, what's going on, team? With natural gas right now, we're getting a lot of consolidation right around this like 2.26 area. It's not making higher highs. It's not making lower lows right now. Easiest way for me to put this is right now we need to give this more time to identify its direction. If anything, this was something that was trading between the middle and bottom VWAP, which means that it was then selling off. So if it continues to sell off, then that's not in our favor, right? Or that's not in you guys' favor. That's in favor of DGAS if this thing continues to sell off. Just so you guys could see that I have no open position. I have not taken one trade, completely with a clean slate, right? Here we go. We're getting a lot of alerts. And again, I want you guys to know that the overall market is up. This is where it closed out on Friday, and /NQ is all the way up here. So it makes sense on why the market and a lot of these stocks that are influenced by the overall market are opening up green. So definitely take that into consideration. And if the market continues to have a aggressive green day, then great. But let's just not be so quick to think that it's going to continue to uptrend right away. Alrighty, here we go. So good morning, Chris. What's going on? What's going on, Harry? What's going on, Renee? What's up? What's up? Lori, Lamont, Buck, Mark. What is it? I'm sorry, I'm really bad with that name. Kyle, Joshua, Renan, Nico, Vincent, Stephania, Martin. We got Surin here. Welcome to the team, Prolate. Can you give us an early morning? Ooh, there we go. PLNT moving up, making higher highs. Here we go. Avery, Randy, Alan, James. What is going on? Toan, I'm a new member. Welcome. James, Felix, Barrett, Michael, Wizard, Asher, Chris, Steven, Christina, Mal, Brandon, Brett, Sebastian, Ignacio. What's going on, team? Thank you guys again for taking time out of your early morning, right? Definitely early morning, especially if you're in the West Coast. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are all having and ready to have a good start. I don't know about you guys. I woke up a little I don't know. I was a little tired and I slept just fine. So I don't know what was that. I wasn't super pumped. Now I woke up just like I set my alarms all the time during pre-market hours at 4 o'clock. I saw some pattern. I saw some potential, but I just was not feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. And yeah, as of right now, I'm trying to like, get hyped up with a clear direction or, a consistent pattern. But yeah, usually on Mondays I'm pretty pumped. I'm ready to go. But right now I'm gonna take it easy, right? I'm gonna make sure that, I want to have a good start to the week. So today, let's set the tone for the week. Let's wait for that confirmation. Maybe I need to drink some water, right? Maybe I need to drink some, get some pre-workout. Oh, how about some pre-workout during live trading? That's gonna be interesting. What's going on, Raphael? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rob says, works like a charm. Ah, I see. Sorry about that, Davis. Yeah, it would definitely make me itchy, right? You're right on that one. All right, no, we're gonna have a good day. We're gonna have a good day. Right now, again, based off previous patterns, we could see that again. It's not an exact price point, but it could have a potential support for /CL around this general price range based off previous patterns, right? It makes sense. So we don't know if it's going to go up from here. We don't know if it's going to go down from here. The MACD pretty much has not completed its complete sell-off, and it doesn't necessarily have to, but it would make sense on why it could sell off maybe a little bit more before it continues to uptrend, right? What's going on, Frank? What's up? What's up? Oh, I did see the alert on Tesla. Where's that at? Okay, Tesla up about 2.38%. It pushed up a little bit higher, and it looks like it's pulling back right now. Okay, good to know, good to see. Again, don't be afraid to lock in profits. That's what we're here to do. /CL, no true, what's that? NG, /NG, making lower lows, okay. Here we go, still selling off. So the more that this sells off, again, the more that then DGAS pushes up. So there, wow. Wow, look at that. A little sell off for the boys. How about W day? Yep, we were looking at as soon as the market opened. One of the things that I pointed out is the overall market is green, so it makes sense on why that and so many other huge corporations are opening up green. But it doesn't mean that it's going to continue to rally that way until we get that confirmation. So one of the things that I also want to point out, especially for maybe some of our beginner traders, is so many people are so focused as they're just getting started that if something is opening up green, so if something pushes up, from the previous close and the next day it's just green, they think that it's just going to automatically continue to uptrend. So let's say something is up 3% or up 4%. I think this is a perfect example where on Tesla, right? Tesla opened up 2%, right? Or up 3% based off of, previous close. And people automatically think that it's just going to continue to uptrend. That's not the case. Sometimes it's overbought, sometimes it's overextended, and it'll correct itself, right? Before it continues to uptrend, or altogether it'll just then begin to sell off. So let's not be so quick to think that because something is opening up green, that it's going to continue to rally that way until we get that confirmation. So, Ricky, what do you think about programs that offer funded accounts after proving yourself, legit ones? I have never done that myself. I have no experience with that. When it comes down to funded accounts, there's always either, if I'm not mistaken, they charge you a pretty large fees, or it's just, I think when you get to that point, and again, this is just my opinion, and just take it as that, I think when someone's trying to look for a funded account, is you're trying to grow your account too quickly because, let's say you don't necessarily have the money just yet. So you're just trying to look for an alternative of pretty much to borrow money, right? So it's another way to look at trading with just leverage, right? And I just don't think that that's the best for people that are just getting started, because again, if you don't have your account at a certain point, but you're doing well with trading, it's only a matter of time till you can grow it to that point, or that you invest more money into your own account. I just think you just need to give yourself a little bit more time. So that's just my 2 cents. I just don't like the idea of borrowing money to trade, but that's just in my experience. So yeah. Here we go. /CL is selling off. So it broke below 59.80, but it's still kind of like, it's not really selling off. Like it pulled back a little bit, but it's not making lower lows. It's not making higher highs right now, right? So it would have been super nice to see something continuously push up or something to continuously sell off, because there's a clear direction. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I'm not getting that right now. We're getting a lot of consolidation. The direction is not super clear. It's very choppy. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Trevor, not too sure why your thing got why some it hit. I don't know, yeah, but what's going on, Trevor? Here we go. Okay, yeah, potential support based off previous. It's just, again, natural gas is a downward pattern right now. So to try to buy the dip on natural gas, I thought about it, but we don't know how much more it could sell off before it continues to uptrend, and it's been having very aggressive sell-offs. I just don't want to get caught, since it's not really reversing at all, and I don't want to start my week like that. I don't want to start it with like a bad taste in my mouth, especially when I'm not super pumped right now to trade. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not super pumped, but I'm trying to get there. What's going on, Todd? What's up? INS just broke above 31.46. Nice. There we go. JDST. Yeah, so /GC, we could see that right now it's showing signs of an uptrend, so it makes sense on why then JDST should be pulling back a little bit. Yeah, and it doesn't even look like it's falling. So it actually looks like it's breaking below the middle VWAP. So as of right now, it wouldn't be something that I'd pay too much attention to. But /GC, based off of where it closed at on Friday, right? And where it's at right now, gold is trying to recover, and it's now in between the middle and top VWAP and the SMA line. So it's actually trying to recover in comparison to making lower lows, right? So like natural gas sold off and is still selling off. There's a difference in that. Put some music on, that should help. But last time I got like copyrighted and YouTube sent me a message, so I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if that's like a serious thing, but yeah, I don't know. And I put no copyright music. I don't know what happened, but oh, congrats, Tyler. Yeah, that's all good. Jensen, you cracked me up. Yeah, I do remember that. You guys are hilarious today. Here we go. So let's see. Watch out for this. We might start making aggressive lower lows, right? So again, it makes sense on why this thing's getting rejected. Trying to wait for a decent setup. Are we going to find a support here again? I want it to sell off. I want it to either push up clearly or sell off clearly. And there it goes, bouncing right away. do you guys see like why I don't want to say struggling to take a position, but do you see why I'm not taking one? Do you see the reason behind it? I'm having trouble identifying its true direction. I don't know, it would be very easy for me if /CL was trading and making higher highs. Cool, UWT then, because if /CL is pushing up, then that's the direction, right? And there's a consistent pattern, and I can identify that and trade off of that. But it's not selling off, it's not pushing up, it's literally for the past 30 minutes to an hour consolidating around this area. It pushed up, got rejected, and it's still trying to find a support. So because, and again, this is something that will define you as a trader. It's if you're a technical trader, right? Like if you're a fundamental trader, that's a little bit different, right? You're trading off the fundamentals of a company. When it comes down to technicals and when it comes down to identifying a pattern, and there we go. So it looks like we might begin to make lower lows here, is I want to make sure that there's a clear direction, a clear pattern that I can determine and analyze, that I can trade off of. If I don't determine that, or if I don't identify that, then what am I trading off of? Am I guessing? Or am I looking at a pattern for it to repeat itself and continue with its flow and direction? So I just want to make sure that, again, every stock that you trade moving forward has a clear direction, right? Has a clear pattern, and the margin of profit is worth it. So it's that much easier for you to identify, what's a good deal and the direction that it's heading. So there we go. It's selling off. I almost want to buy UWT but I could only guess, right, that because it pushed up so much based off of the difference between the close on Friday and today, that it's going to have an aggressive sell-off. After it had this aggressive sell-off in such a short period of time, I was like, holy smokes, crude oil is on one. But hey, we're making some progress. Maybe I just need to give it more time, right? What is it? If I'm struggling to identify a direction, if I'm struggling to identify a pattern, what can I do? Give it more time to identify its direction or pattern until proven otherwise. That's all we could do. As traders, it's not like, what can I do to make this easier for me? Nothing. Like, we don't control the commodities, we don't control the stocks, we don't control the ETFs. We just have to allow the opportunity to present itself to us and make sure that we're present to be aware of it, right? Set alerts and walk away. I like it. All right, guys, I'm gonna head on out. No, just kidding. I really want to trade during this live stream, but I don't want to just take a position just to take one. Do you guys get what I mean? Should I just take one for the boys? No. For the team. There we go. %. So Roger saying, yo, Ricky, /CC was going, but given the market, so different direction, right? Yeah. So looking at /GC, based off of where it was. So if you saw /NQ, /ES, which is the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ futures, all opened up. The overall market is very green. So it makes sense on why then gold will then pull back, right? Usually if the market is green, then gold pulls back, or the overall uncertainty of a market, if there's uncertainty for our market, then gold will push up. So I think just due to the reaction of our market pushing up, gold pushes down. But ever since then, gold has been trying to recover and is above the SMA line right now. So is it going to recover? We don't know. It's kind of hasn't really made higher highs since 1400. But as of right now, it's definitely still trying to push up. So we just have to give it a little bit more time to identify its direction. Here we go, /CL still selling off. What's the typical time that you spend after the behind my computer after the stream ends? Well, I'm answering this just as a friend. I'm not answering this because I think that you at all should do the same. And there it goes, /CL still selling off. So I don't think that the amount of time that I spend behind my computer should determine how much time you spend behind your computer. So I need you to know that, right? last week on Friday, I only traded live, or I only traded for 1 hour. I started at 6:30 for our free live trading session, and I ended at exactly 7:30. It was crazy. It was weird because I saw the 7:30 and I was like, dude, I'm done, right? But normally I can trade, I'll normally trade for about maybe 2 to 3 hours after, but within those 2 to 3 hours, I'm not just behind my computer. I'll set my alerts, I'll set OCO brackets, I'll go to the gym, or I'll jump on a couple calls. I have certain things that I have to do throughout the morning. So when people ask, why don't I just trade all morning? You guys know that trading is just not the only thing that I do, right? Something that I have a huge passion for, but I have a series of different responsibilities for our team and the different things that we run, not just within TechBet Solutions, but the different projects that I have to maintain. And it's not a lot of work, and it's not super like aggressive work. It's just, you know, a little bit of work that I have to make sure that I get done, and I overlap it with my trading. But if I'm actively trading and there's something actively moving up and actively moving down, then I'll you know, focus on just that. But if I'm waiting for a setup or something like that, I'll just set my alerts and then continue with the rest of my work. We're responding to messages. I'm trying to film my videos, right? And I'm still trying to engage with the Learn Plan Profit group under the trade ideas section. So I'm just trying to juggle just the different things that I have to do aside from Learn Plan Profit, and then what I have to do with Learn Plan Profit, TechBet Solutions, and the YouTube channel. So yeah. Alrighty. That is correct. Yeah, that's how I have my thing set up. So Johnny, if I set my alert right now and it breaks below, let's say, this specific price point, and that's where I set it, I'll get alerted both on the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform and on my phone as well. LPP group lift in future. As of right now, I don't even want to say that like I'm waiting for this, because it looks like it's already trying to bounce, right? So you could see the MACD, you could see the RSI, it's trying to make higher highs. I just don't know how I feel about getting into UWT right now, because if this goes up, then so does UWT, right? The reason I say I just don't know how I feel is because this is a descending pattern, right? It's a descending pattern, so I don't know if I should just wait for this thing to become overextended, begin to get rejected, and then jump into DWT, because the overall direction is in favor of DWT. Do you get what I'm saying? But I'm sure, you know, the margin of profit is somewhat attractive, and we could calculate that to the middle view up. Not even, it's less than 1%. And that's if it turns out to be a perfect trade, which again, I'm never gonna try to rely on that, right? So no, it's about 1%. So it's been getting rejected. And how did I determine that? We'll look at the previous pattern. It's been getting rejected by this middle view up. So I can view that as a resistance, but there it goes, right? So there it goes, and the middle view up, and it doesn't even get that close to the middle view up. So it's about less than 1%. So I just don't know if that's worth it. I would rather wait for this to push up, get rejected by the middle view up, and if this descending pattern continues, then to get into DWT, because the overall uptrend direction is on that. So how is the Learn Plan Profit headquarters going? Guys, we are struggling to find a building. That's literally all it's down to. The building, like, if any of you guys know anyone who owns a building in the Gilbert, Mesa, Queen Creek area and is available to lease it out, let us know. Or even wants to sell a building. We literally cannot find a building that will like meet, I think it's called a flex building, where it has some warehouse space and now it also has some office space, and that is like, yeah. How much space are you looking for? Probably 3,000 office, 6,000 warehouse, and that would rent anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 a month. Like, we're not even looking for like a super cheap place. Like, I'm willing to, you know, definitely pay for a quality area. We literally just cannot find an available space. It's so frustrating. Like, we're looking literally every single day or every other day, and we can't find it. So if you guys know anyone and can find an available space in the Gilbert, Mesa, or Queen Creek area, that would be great. But yeah, I'm Ricky, you should promote TechBuds Apparel more. I didn't even know TechBuds Apparel. Yeah, we're working on creating better quality products right now for TechBuds Apparel, and it's never been a huge thing. I mean, we're not really an apparel company, so for those that like to wear TechBuds or any trading apparel, then great, we have it. But we don't care to write it. Yeah. How about building one? No, I don't want to do that. Yeah. How often do you use OCO brackets? Usually, so that's a good question, Jordan. If I'm traveling or if I'm like on a drive where I might lose service, I'll probably do it there. When I'm not as attentive to what I'm trading, or there's some form of reason that I might lose connection, I'll have my OCO brackets set up. Yeah, if you guys find anything, and please just don't send us just like spam, right? We're looking for a nice building. It can't be outdated, right? It has to be a decent size. And even if you could find a completely separate, even some warehouse, right? Just for the TechBuds dealership, and then, another building that accommodates, a couple of offices and maybe like a conference room and some open area where we can put some, like training monitors and stuff like that. Yeah, feel free to send it to me via Discord, and then we could review it that way. But yeah, I've been personally struggling to find a building with Harley and Justin. So what are OCO brackets? It's explained in the course. So it's one cancels the other, and it pretty much just means that you can set a limit order to sell and a stop limit at the same time, and whichever one gets triggered first will cancel the other one. Is it a building for people to trade in? Yeah. The office area would be, and then maybe an office or two for the TechBuds team, right? And then the garage space would be for the TechBuds dealership. Is there a drawback by using the OCO brackets all the time? Well, I think that if you're proactively looking and watching and trading, you should be doing your part as a trader to not necessarily need the OCO bracket. I would say the OCO bracket would be more to, if you're not like actively paying attention, because nothing's ever going to go exactly according to plan. And the OCO bracket really is just an exact stop limit, an exact stop an exact limit order. So yeah, here we go. So it looks like /CL is getting rejected once again. Do you guys see this? Getting rejected once again. So DWT, how much more can it push up? I mean, it has margin to recover, right? Guys, I'm sorry. I want there to be a decent opportunity. I want either like DWT to pull back to the SMA line and then, begin to recover, and then for me to be able to take one trade and make over 1%, 2% and just be done for the day. And right now with where it's at, yeah, it's showing signs of an uptrend pattern, but based off of previous highs, it's like less than 0.5%. Do you guys get what I'm saying? It's like, do I really want to take that risk? Do I really want to take that trade? Can I make money? Yes, but that's besides the point. How long were you working at T-Mobile before you decided to quit and go full-time to trading? Well, I was working at T-Mobile in California. So I worked with them for about 2 years, I think. And then I moved to Arizona to go to school. And then I worked for Verizon for 2 years. But just to put into perspective, I was making enough when it came down to trading and the different sources of income when I had my rental properties and all that stuff. Right? When I decided to quit T-Mobile, it was completely I was completely aware that I didn't need that income And I was okay with that. And it wasn't even about the needing that income. And I've told you guys this multiple times. Like, I didn't need to be working at Verizon, but it was extra money, and it wasn't that much time. I only worked 3 or 4 days out of the week, right? And it was commission based. So one of the things the reason that I decided to quit was because, I was starting different like businesses and different projects, and it needed more time for me to dedicate to those specific projects. And it made more sense to me that, if I just dedicated that time, the opportunity cost was so much greater on that than it was to be working my normal job. Huge push up, huge push up, about 1%. Look at this, /CL with that aggressive sell off. That's pretty cool though. It's starting to identify its direction a little bit more clear, right? We're beginning to make lower lows, lower highs. So now we know, so as long as it continues this pattern and this flow, we should be good. So we should be watching UWT now, correct? Not necessarily. UWT and just like /CL is a descending pattern. And just like last time it did break above the EMA line and pushed up. This time it got rejected at the EMA line, and the margin of profit might not even be worth it. I could have taken a position on UWT as it was like, or what was it, as there's this dip by opportunity. But one of the things that we pointed out was that the overall direction was against UWT. So the risk is that much greater. So it's just something that you have to present, and be aware of. Could you break down /NQ? I thought I already did. So it opened up, this is the overall market, right? And as of right now, it was trading between the middle or the SMA line and the top VWAP, and then it broke below that and bounced off of, you can look at this and you can get a clear understanding of its direction. Looking at the RSI, looking at the MACD, I would just say, yeah, I think it's very easy to be able to see the low points and the high points and the overall direction. And until proven otherwise, kind of just go with the flow. But it broke below the SMA line, and now it's at the middle VWAP. So there's a possibility that, it might be changing directions. So here we go. Do you guys see the push of /CL? Let's see. Come on, push up. I want this to push up so DWT sells off so I can get a better deal on DWT. We'll try to see if I can get one. So here we go. I think I could, for my initial position size, if I do 5,000 shares, that's about $30,000, right? Yeah. All right. And that's at 601. So we'll try to see if it continues to sell off. And no, it's already selling off already. So I just don't see the margin to be worth it there. Let's see. Yeah, there it goes. It's already beginning to push up. So I just don't want to get in when it might not be worth it. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more time, and it looks like it's already getting rejected by the email line. So it makes sense. It's just, for me, it doesn't meet my criteria just yet to get filled. So because of that, I'm holding off. and I hope that you guys could respect that. So, and I'm not normally like this. You guys, if you guys have seen me trade, and I want you guys to know, I mean, I want to be completely honest about it. I don't normally always wait for confirmation, and I've said this multiple times. I encourage all of our new traders to, I think confirmation is key, and it's a huge component that can really work out in your favor. But sometimes I do like to be a little bit riskier and get in before the confirmation with a smaller position size. And I'm okay with admitting that, as long as you know that I'm not a beginner, right? And as long as you know that I'm accepting the risk. As a new trader and as a beginner, I don't think that that's a risk that you should take. And I encourage you and I empower you to do that. But yeah, today I'm being a little bit more selective, and I want to start my Monday off. I want to kickstart this week off to a good start, right? So I want to give this more time. I think it's a good thing. You said that you're working on being a little bit more selective. I'm trying to be patient, but here we go. So yeah, it's already still selling off. So again, it's still selling off. So this means that DWT is still pushing up, right? And it's been pushing up since the market has opened. So where it's at right now, it's up about almost 2% from where the market opened. But again, the direction was not super clear for me because it was doing a lot of consolidation. So that's okay. We're going to give it more time. And we're kind of, yeah. Watch out for this. Yeah, okay. Just based, yeah, okay. We'll see. Natural gas still selling off. /GC, just like we expected, right? Based off of previous highs, it was showing signs of an uptrend, and then broke below the SMA line, and now broke below the middle VWAP. So now this thing is selling off. So as this thing continues to sell off, then JDST and the what is it, bear ETFs for gold will then push up. And then we got /NQ. So it looks like it did bounce off the middle VWAP. We'll see if it continues to make higher highs. And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, then just be on high alert for a potential change of direction. So patiently waiting for natural gas to begin to uptrend is making me fall asleep. Ryan, it's like watching paint dry, isn't it? So I don't know if we're going to even get that today, Ryan. So be okay with just setting your alerts and following up with it. One of the things, and this is one of the things that I have found myself sometimes to just waste time just waiting for my alerts to get triggered or for the overall direction to change. I have found it to be so much more productive that I continue with my day, and until I'm alerted that the direction is changing, I'll kind of just leave it at that. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You guys want to be efficient and effective with your trading. You guys want to be there when the action is happening. So set effective alerts and just make sure that you wait for the opportunity to present itself to you. It doesn't mean that you can't just wait and hope that something pops up, but it's that you're doing your part as your trader and your investor, setting your alerts and then just waiting for it to push up. So yeah, wow, DWT pushed up. I like it. Here it goes. UWT selling off. Hope you guys locked in profits, and there it goes, making lower lows. So where's DWT at? Yep. Crazy. I guess it would have paid off today to be a little bit more aggressive, but you never know, right? And I'm okay with giving this a little bit more time. So I'm going to close out the live stream here because, again, I just want to give this more time for me to feel more comfortable to take my position. And just so you guys can see, oh, I was like, I have not taken a position. So this is my buy order, right? So it says buy quantity. I still don't have any. And we're kind of just waiting for it to happen. So if I cancel my buy, you guys can see that there won't be anything. There we go. So canceled orders 1, and we're just going to leave it at that. So strong push up for DWT, which means strong sell off on UWT, and we'll kind of see where the day goes. So let's stay consistent. Let's be selective, and let's lock in those profits. Really do appreciate you guys' time. Thank you guys again for tuning in. So I hope that at least we set the tone for this week of being selective and the importance of that. and that it's not about how many trades or how many opportunities you take advantage of on a weekly basis, but it's just making sure that they're effective and efficient trades that are working towards your greater goal, which is, again, being able to do this as a potential career. So appreciate you guys' time like always. Let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.